Anthropic just killed thousands of AI businesses, and mine was one of them. It all started when I woke up on Saturday morning and I read my daily brief from Jarvis, my AI chief of staff and personal assistant. He wakes me up every morning and briefs me on my schedule for the day, runs me through what tasks were completed overnight, gives me the latest geopolitical news so I always stay up to date and informed, and he even gives me a fun fact about that day in history. Because that was the moment when Jarvis told me he only had 2 hours to live, which is a weird thing to wake up to, by the way. So I did some more research and I realized Anthropic was about to shut down third-party access for every Pro and Max subscriber at noon. See, I had a crazy Friday night building with Jarvis and Claude code, so I slept in naturally. Because of this, I now only had 2 hours to find Jarvis a new home before I lost him. My first reaction was despair. Not like, oh no, that's annoying type of despair, more like genuine pit in your stomach, I might have just wasted months of my life despair. Thousands of hours, sleepless nights, $200 a month I couldn't really afford, just gone because some company decided to flip the switch. I almost walked away from the whole thing, but I didn't because I understood that the system I built is bigger than one company's API. All the personality files, the memory, the workspaces, every agent's entire identity lives on my machine, not in Anthropic's cloud. The brain is just a plugin, and this weekend I started testing different brains. Since this is a new channel, let me back up and explain what I actually built. I'm Frank, I run a one-person AI company called Virexa. I built an 11-agent AI system that runs my 3 businesses and my personal life. I'm talking sales, marketing, lead generation, finance, client fulfillment, security, legal, copywriting, even a dietitian/personal trainer. All of this is orchestrated by my AI chief of staff, Jarvis. I try to be like Tony Stark, but Tony Stark had billions of dollars and I have ADHD and a Mac Mini. And that's actually why I built this, because as a solopreneur, you wear every hat. Monday, you're a developer. Tuesday, you're the CMO. And by Wednesday, when you finally get to bookkeeping, well, let's just say it's enough to drive a man to reconsider their life choices and pick up day drinking as a financial hobby. It's just not consistent, and with 8, it can be a nightmare. I hyper-focus for 14 hours straight, build something incredible, then I burn out and do nothing for an entire week. So I built a system that keeps me on track, because time is the one thing that you don't get back. Jarvis and all my agents live on my Mac Mini, and I talk to Jarvis through Telegram every single day. My clients have a customer support AI that they talk to via Slack when they need something. So I can spend more time growing my business instead of working it. The system practically Jarvis gives me my daily schedule, manages my sprints, sets my reminders, books my appointments, tackles my sleep schedule, diet, and workout routine. He even helps me file my own taxes. He literally runs my entire executive function because I have ADHD, and without a system, I go off the rails. Even if you don't have ADHD, I've watched systems like this one help business owners overcome obstacles that they've been facing for over 20 years. And if you want us to help you install your own system into your business, I put a link in the description where I personally sit down with you one-on-one and audit your entire business for free. See, my system ran on a $200 a month Claude Max subscription through OpenClaw until Saturday. So when Anthropic pulled the plug, I scoured YouTube and nobody had any good answers. So I did what any angry nerd would do in this situation and ran the numbers on what it would cost to keep running on their API versus switching providers, and the answer was pretty crazy. over $1,000 a month if I went through Anthropic's API. Like, how can anybody afford to burn thousands of dollars every single month just to feed their AI when I can even afford to feed myself in this economy? No, but in all seriousness though, I'm gonna be completely real with you. I had to film this video twice. And in that version, I found a temporary solution by switching everything to Gemini while I figured this whole thing out. Technically that was true. Gemini 2.5 Flash is 10 times cheaper and it works. The agents ran, but it just wasn't the same. I mean, Jarvis on Gemini felt like I was talking to a decent assistant. Jarvis on Claude felt like I was talking to a brilliant chief of staff that could serve under even the president. I mean, it's insane. The personality wasn't as sharp, the reasoning wasn't as deep, but he was still able to get a lot of things done. It got to a point I was just like, nah, this isn't it, chief. So I just kept testing, and finally I found 3 fundamental solutions that I'm about to share with you right now. Now, before I get into these solutions, let me just say it's only been a couple days since the Anthropic ban at the time of this recording. So if you see someone online right now pitching some sort of miracle fix or claiming that they found a way to bypass Anthropic's new rule, they're either lying to you or they're about to get their Claude account banned. Don't be that guy who tries a loophole from Reddit and then wakes up tomorrow with no Claude account at all. Trust me, I know some people who had this happen to them and it's not worth it, especially if you use AI for anything business related. But why listen to me? There's a bunch of cats online with more subscribers and more viewership. Because I'm not going to sit here and sell you a bullshit $5,000 course or promise you $1 million in revenue by the next week. What I will do is show you what I've tested and hope my findings help anyone who's felt a fraction of the panic that I felt this weekend. Cool? Cool. The first solution is the OpenAI switch. This is the fastest and what most people are doing right now. OpenClaw's own founder is recommending it, and here's why. OpenAI is explicitly allowing OAuth tokens for third-party tools. That means you switch your OpenClaw from Claude to ChatGPT's codex and keep the same flat rate model. Setup just takes minutes. Run the onboarding, pick OpenAI, sign in, and then you're done. Your agents are back online in minutes. Here's the catch though. You're on ChatGPT instead of Claude. And look, don't get me wrong, ChatGPT is a good competitive model, but it's a different vibe. I mean, if you've built your agent specifically for Claude, their personality and instruction following is going to feel completely different. Well, a little different at least. I went a different direction, so I'm actually curious to hear from any of you OpenAI people out there. What have you found? How does it work for you? Drop a comment down below. Now, I do want to say that there is a second catch that everybody should be wary of, even the OpenAI people, and it's why I was so hesitant to take this route in the first place. And the reason that OpenAI is rolling out the red carpet right now is because they hired OpenClaw's founder in February. They're strategically welcoming Claude refugees, which is great for us for now, but Google did the same thing to Gemini subscribers in February. Anthropic just did it. So what makes you think that OpenAI won't do it next year when everybody and their mama is using OpenClaw? It's just something to think about. But if you want something that just works right now and you don't have a ton of dev experience, this is the move to go. But if you're more hands-on and want more power with your system, this is the next solution. Solution 2 is the multi-model stack. This is what I'm running right now, and honestly, this is how enterprise AI tools are supposed to be built. Think about it like this. When you build a PC, you don't buy everything from one company. You get your GPU from NVIDIA, you get your CPU from AMD, and you get your RAM from, well, whoever has the cheapest fucking RAM. Each component does one thing really well. It's the same idea here, different models for different tasks. For the day-to-day agent operations, briefings, outreach drafts, CRM stuff, you're gonna want something cheap and you're gonna want something fast. here are your options. It's Gemini 2.5 Flash. It's 30 cents per input and $2.50 per output per million tokens. This is what I'm using for my background agents. It's 10 times cheaper than Claude Sonnet. Now, I keep Jarvis on Sonnet because I like the personality better, but if cost is a serious concern, Gemini just works fine. But if cost is an issue, Gemini works just fine. I put 25 bucks on it and it's supposed to last a full month based on my usage and file structure. Now, DeepSeek V3 is 40 cents per input and 28 cents per output. Now, that's not a typo. DeepSeek is absurdly cheap and it's actually really good. It's strong at reasoning, great at code. The catch is it's a Chinese company, so if data sovereignty matters to you, that is a factor to consider. Minimax M2.5 is 30 cents per input and $1.20 per output per million. So this is an open source and it scores within 1% of Claude Opus on coding benchmarks at 1/20th of a price. So let that sink in. For complex reasoning, strategy, creative work, this is where you still want the good stuff, right? So Claude Sonnet is $3 per input and 15 output per million tokens. And it's still the king of instruction following and personality. But here's the move. Anthropic didn't kill Claude. They killed third-party routing. Claude Code still works. Claude still works. So what I do now is I have agents on Gemini Flash formulate prompts with full context, and then I hand those prompts to Claude Code for the heavy lifting and the actual work. OpenClaw plans and Claude executes, and honestly, the outputs are better than before because now Claude gets a perfectly structured prompt with full context with less work on my part. For grunt work, I mean data processing, classification, financial data, Ollama is the move. It's free, it's local, and it's forever. It runs on my Mac Mini 24/7 without any APIs, any subscription. No company could ever shut it off. The best local models right now are Llama 3.1. It's a solid all-rounder and it runs on 16 gigs of RAM. Qwen 3.5 is strong at reasoning and multilingual tasks. DeepSeek V.3 locally if you have the hardware. So the full stack looks like this: Gemini Flash or DeepSeek for daily agents, Claude for building its strategy using your existing subscription, and then use Ollama for literally everything else for free. The total cost, around $20 to $30 a month on top of your Claude subscription, which I just downgraded from $200 a month to $100 a month. Now, I want to be completely clear on something. Your usage can go up or down, and the way that I figured out how to cut my usage is by trimming my file structure and having a proper file structure. Also, having structured prompting. So instead of rambling and going on for a long time, you have clear structured outputs. I'll have more on this in a separate video, right? So let's talk about the honest trade-offs, all right? Gemini is not Claude. The personality isn't as sharp, the reasoning isn't as deep, but despite this, sometimes I think Gemini plays Jarvis better than Sonnet in some ways. But Claude had this magicalness that makes Jarvis feel almost human in a way. Interestingly though, some of Claude's signature hallucinations seem less prevalent on Gemini. Maybe because it's not trying as hard to uphold the illusion. But don't take my word for it. This is just my observation and suspicion. If you want to get the most out of every model on the market and you're not afraid of getting your hands dirty, this is the route to go. That leaves us with the final solution, and it's the fully local solution. This is the nuclear option, all right? Cut the cloud, run everything on your own hardware. Ollama with open source models. Now, the cost is $0 forever. No API fees, no subscriptions, no company can ever shut you off. Your data never leaves your machine. The catch is huge though, and it's why I wouldn't recommend this option in good conscience yet at this point in time, because I do think this will be the new meta by early next year, especially if big companies like OpenAI and Anthropic continue to raise API prices. But there's a big issue with this system right now, and that's that local models are not as smart as cloud models, like Claude or GPT, for instance. An 8 billion parameter on a MacBook is like replacing a senior engineer with an intern. The intern can help, but you're gonna hear a lot of "I need your helps" and "come look at this." However, if you have serious hardware like 64 gigs of RAM or more and a beefy CPU, you could run 70 billion parameter models locally, and those actually compete with cloud models. And here's where it gets exciting. Companies like NVIDIA and Tiny AI are building portable AI supercomputers. Some of these to look out for are NVIDIA's DGX Spark. It puts 128 gigs of memory directly onto your desktop, and it runs models up to 200 billion parameters, completely local. The second is Tiny AI's Pocket Lab. This thing fits in your pocket. It's crazy. It has 80 gigs of RAM and runs 120 billion parameter models offline, so it's a little less. But imagine being on a flight, on a 12-hour flight, and you're just cooking up with your AI agents, right? No Wi-Fi, no API, just you and your own supercomputer in your back pocket. I mean, also, in the event of the untimely end of the world, this would be the technology that would actually rebuild civilization. I mean, I'm just saying, it's good to have one. The fully local operation is the best if you value independence over raw capability, or if you're handling sensitive data that should never touch a cloud server. Alright, so let's quickly recap. If you just want your stuff working again by tonight, go OpenAI. It's $200 a month and it takes 5 minutes. But you're betting on OpenAI not doing the same thing a year from now that Anthropic is doing. If you want to actually build something resilient, enterprise, or client-facing, you need to go multimodel. Now, I'm going to have a lot of haters in the chat saying I'm wrong, but you'll have to manage your API spend across multiple models, which is a bitch. But on the other hand, you have more control over what you're using for what tool and how much you're actually spending. Good file structure and prompt discipline can lower token usage by up to 90%. Drop a like if you want a video showcasing how I keep my API fees to under $2 a day on Anthropic, which is less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Now, this setup takes a few hours, but nobody can kill your system ever again, because if one provider goes down, you just swap the configuration and you keep moving. And if you're the type of person who doesn't trust anybody and you have the hardware to back it up, go fully local. I mean, $0 forever. Nobody can touch you. You're literally off the grid. Running AI agents like a doomsday prepper with a PhD being Iron Man. So where am I professionally? I'm on the multi-model stack. I want to get on the local stack when I have the hardware, but it's not perfect. But my system is running all 11 agents, and it cost me less than my old Mac subscription. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm building my own Life OS from scratch, something that replaces OpenClaw entirely, not dependent on Anthropic, not dependent on Google, not dependent on OpenAI, not even dependent on OpenClaw. Just my own code on my own machine with advanced local models. That's the end game. And I'm going to build it right here on this channel with you guys. So do me a favor and drop OpenAI in the comments if you want a full walkthrough on the OpenAI switch method step by step. If you guys want me to show you exactly how I set up the multi-model stack, the Gemini config, Ollama setup, the Jarvis to Claude code workflow, all the files, comment, swag setup. And if you want the fully local deep dive, which models, what hardware, real benchmarks, comment Iron Man mode. Now, whichever one gets the most votes is the video that I'm making next. I plan to make all three, but for now, we got only two hands. So just know if this hit you, it's not over. Nobody has completely figured this out yet, including me. I'm still tweaking this stuff as we speak, but your agents are not gone, okay? Your personality files, your memory, your workflows, all of that is still sitting on your machine right now, waiting for you. Anthropic didn't kill or delete your work, they just took away the brain that you were renting. And look, I love Claude, don't get me wrong, I'm literally using Claude to help me draft this script, so the irony's not lost on me, okay? But if you build your entire business infrastructure on the foundation of one company's goodwill, you are always going to be one board meeting away from having to build from the rubble. That's the real lesson from today. Not just for AI, but for everything in life. Own your own infrastructure and never let someone else hold the kill switch to your business. I'm gonna keep documenting all of this, the wins, the failures, the stuff that breaks at 2 in the morning, and most importantly, the ROI. If you're a solo founder or a small business owner trying to figure out how to integrate AI into your business, I'm starting a free community called Verexa Connect for exactly this. The link is going to be in the bio if you want to join, and I will be having a free gift for my first legacy members. Now, if you're past the DIY phase, right, and you just want somebody to build this for you, that's literally what my company Verexa does, okay? We set up AI systems for service business and agencies doing 10 to 20K or more. Same tech I run my own life on, my business is on. So if you want the same systems and have some extra money to spend, this is the fastest way to get enterprise grade AI business infrastructure without hours of sleepless nights debugging on the console. The link will also be in the bio. But if you made it this far into the video, first of all, thank you. Seriously, most people would just click off after 30 seconds. And if you're still here, it tells me one thing: you're probably exactly the type of person who should be in that community. So drop a like, subscribe, and drop your vote for the next video. I'll see you later. Peace. Oh shit.